Welcome to the Downtown, brought to you by Arlington City Media. I am Daryl Smith Jr., and directly next to me is...
Hi, I'm Rody John.
On today's show, we talk with Dr. Albert Parra, running for Arlington City Council,
District 6.
We also talked to David Wilbanks, the current Aisd board member for Place 4, and he is running again.
And we also talked to one of his opponents, Anita Scott, also running for Aisd Board of Trustees, Place 4. A lot of really fun conversations with these people.
Yeah.
Really fun to get to know the people behind their candidacies.
Yeah. I enjoy this as a non-political person because you get to know more about the people. It's not like we talk to these people afterwards about, being on these panels and stuff, and they only get a minute or two to talk about certain things, and then you also don't get to find the fun things like what's their favorite taco place, have they gotten a speeding ticket in DWG or Pentigo, so things that you would not get asked normally.
Yeah, but also, on a serious note, early voting is going on now. For the rest of the week, 8 to 5, next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, 7 to 7, Sunday, May 1st, 10 to 4, May 2nd and 3rd from 7 to 7. And you can go to the Bob Duncan Center in Arlington, the LZ Odom Center, Center for Community Service, Junior League of Arlington. I believe that's your preferred voting place. City of Arlington, City of Arlington South Service Center is your preferred
That's where
place.
I go.
There it is. Tarrant County Sub Courthouse in Arlington, the Tarrant County College Southeast Campus, and the University of Texas at the MAC. At TCC, it's the one of the portable buildings, Portable Building C, it looks like.
There you go.
Which is pretty easy to get to. But you can go to all these places in the city of Arlington. Go out there, research your candidates as we talk about in some of these interviews. It's important to know who you're voting for and what you're voting for. Also important to go out there and vote.
It is. Put us in as part of your research, and then also look online. If you have time, here's what they have to say in some of these panels, which I think some of the videos are up online. But just get the information and then tell your friends to get out there and vote as well, because, what would you say, 20,000 people voted last time out of 400,000?
It was like 30 something actually. It was up. It was up from last time, but not a lot, not enough. So go out there and vote. Go out there and make it a day of it. Go out there on Saturday with your friends, right? Like, go out and be like, we're gonna go vote, and then we're gonna go drink at Division.
There you go. Love it. We are here with Dr. Albert Parra, who is running for District 6. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys for bringing me on.
Yes, thank you for being here. So, as you mentioned before, your voice is a little raspy right now because you were cheering on not only your daughter with the volleyball game and then your son with baseball. So, if people are like, "Oh my God, does he sound like this all the time?" It's
just good dad.
Yeah, good dad.
good dad vocals.
So, why are you running for city council?
Yeah. So one of the big things that I'm kind of really running for city council is I grew up in Arlington. I grew up in South Arlington. For those that know, I was zoned for Kennedale School District. Went to Kennedale. Kind of was the all-American boy kind of thing. I was captain of the football team, National Honor Society president, graduated near the top of my class. I also met my wife when we were there. I met her actually in second grade. We started dating in 8th grade, so she's my absolute rock. We went away for training. I did medical school residency in San Antonio. I did undergrad at Texas A&M, so for all the Aggies, whoop.
There we go. Yeah.
And then medical school and residency in San Antonio. And then we had the opportunity that I was lucky enough to get a prestigious position at UT Southwestern for my hematology oncology fellowship.
Wow.
And it was literally a no-brainer. Arlington is where we wanted to come.
Right.
I currently live in North Arlington, so I have a split practice between Fort Worth and Arlington. My kids are in the Butler School, so Aisd. And so, I live in North Arlington now. This is my home. And we really need to make sure that we're looking on how we want to guide Arlington down in the future. Right. My parents really imparted on me growing up that you have to take care of yourself, you have to take care of your family, and you have to take care of each other in that order, right? And I kind of do a little bit of that in my current practice. When I take care of a cancer patient, they get that dreaded C word. their whole universe changes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? But I'm helping them on a micro level, and I hate to say it that way, but it is just an individual type of person.
Right.
What I want to do is I want to essentially take that and do a lateral transition over and use the skills that I've already taken, kind of honed as a physician, and just translate that into a more macro level.
Right.
For Arlington. And that's the whole purpose of why I'm running. I'm not trying to get to that next spot. Right? I love being a physician. Don't get me wrong. That is my first love and passion by far. But this is also some way that I can, on a selfish note, that this is a great way for me to be able to show we have 3 children, twin girls that are 11 and a little boy that's 6.
Wow.
It's a good way for me to show them exactly the example that my parents taught me.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's beautiful.
So, you said you from Arlington, you went to Arlington schools. What does Arlington, the American Dream City, mean to you?
Well, I went to Kennedale School.
Sorry. Arlington adjacent.
Arlington adjacent. Yeah, I was in that weird little corridor of. So if I would have lived 4 houses down, I would have gone to Martin.
Right.
If I would have lived like a neighborhood and a half over, I would have gone to Mansfield.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't, but it was like I went to Bowie, even though I went to junior high with him, and he went to Martin.
Okay.
And most of my friends went to Arlington, so like I get it. I was like.
Yeah, and I ended up going to Martin. Like, Gunn was, at that point, there was this weird little panhandle that if you lived south of Pleasant Ridge, you went to Gunn.
Yeah.
Even though Young was right there. So.
Arlington adjacent schools. But you're familiar with the Arlington area.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Arlington. The thing, like, what does Arlington truly mean to me? So the main thing of that is I've kind of had a unique impression of Arlington. Because growing up in South Arlington, you're not really aware of kind of and I hate to kind of say the politics behind everything, but just like, why are things being put where they are? Why is there a park here? All this kind of stuff. You're not really attuned to that because you're just literally thinking about when's the next game? When's the next, when's pep rally kind of stuff. So, I had that. I had the unique experience of being able to go away from Arlington for a while during a lot of my training and then being able to come back. And now that I've kind of been able to focus on, now I have a unique appreciation for Arlington. And so what Arlington really means to me, it is that hidden gem that just gets breezed over when people talk about the Metroplex.
Yes.
It really is. And what I'm really wanting to do is I want to make Arlington not just be the hyphen in DFW anymore. Right. And that's really what Arlington kind of means to me. We have 6 professional pro sports sports teams, if you consider esports, which it is. It's a sport.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning esports.
Okay.
We cover it quite a bit.
We cover the esports quite a bit.
Okay, well, I mean, because some people would be like, oh, that's not a sport. No, it is.
The money behind it says otherwise.
That's exactly right.
Other countries are pumping millions of dollars, so yeah, it's a big sport.
I mean, so we have that. We have, D.R. Horton. We have all these, General Motors. We have all these great things to provide. We're the second largest in tourism in the country behind Orlando.
Which is wild because Orlando is like, the creme de la creme of tourism, and we're number 2.
Yeah, we just had friends come back from Orlando, so yeah.
Right. And so, like, standalone, Arlington is the 46th largest city. And then we are also one of the only city that doesn't have its own county to itself. Like, we have to share ours with Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. Get out of here, Fort
Worth.
Yeah,
get out of here. But, so it is one of these unique things that everybody just glosses over, that whenever they start to learn a little bit more about Arlington, they're like, oh, yeah, hey, Arlington's actually a pretty cool place. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So
we're the first tiki bar in the Metroplex as well.
And it's one of the best ones, too.
It is, absolutely.
I don't know my tiki bar ratings in the country, but the last that I heard, I talked to the owner, he said that they were in the top 10. So
there we go.
I will tell you that I have frequented that place more than once.
Yes. Same. It's one of my favorite places to go.
That's right.
Yeah, if you have anything more than 3 drinks, you gotta get an Uber.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Really
that's exactly right.
They pack them. They pack them. It's and great ambiance too. Like, it's not just that the drinks are good. It's like it's a fun place.
It is. It is a fun place.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite building in Arlington?
Oh man.
It's a curveball.
Oh. Cool.
See,
that is a great question.
Well,
because
we talked about earlier, like we don't have a skyline, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not like you can be like, oh, it's like the Chrysler Building, you know, like we don't have
Right.
anything like that. So like it is kind of hard to be like, what
I should know the name of the bank that's off of Cooper and 30.
the one that you can see from the hospital.
The one you can see from the hospital.
Yeah, I live right by the hospital. My wife works there. She says that's her favorite building, specifically because at night they keep the lights up.
Yeah,
and
so
you
it
can
changes
still
the-
see the. Yeah, she said
And
it's
you know
really
what? I
fun.
should know the name of that bank because I literally live over by there. I see it all the time. I should know the name of the bank. I would probably have to say that's probably one of my favorite to look at.
Sure.
But probably the most unique building that we should really be looking at is probably the Arlington Art Museum.
Yeah.
Because what's so nice about it is that it changes all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, you have these great art exhibits that are just coming through that, again, people don't realize that,
Yeah.
when you look at what people are coming to the art museum, it's a lot of times it's people from Dallas, Fort Worth, and just outside.
Because they have incredible like shows or like incredible showings, you know, like
That's right.
just stuff that you would never think of right here downtown.
That's
you
right.
know? Like,
So I guess if I had to say which one do I like to look at it in the night sky, I'd probably have to say the bank. But if I had to say which one is my most favorite, and I would probably go with the art museum just because of how unique and diverse that it is.
I think it used to be a JCPenney too, so that's a really cool thing that they turned it into. It used to be like a store, and now it's an art museum.
Ah,
Yeah.
It has a basement in it and everything. We've been down there. We saw a band play down there.
Yeah, the Arlington Knights Chattanooga had a
Really cool place. Underutilized, I think.
Yeah, there's a recording studio in the bottom.
There's a recording studio
is,
down
there
there.
is.
Yeah. All right. When was the last time you got a speeding ticket in Pentigo or Dow Worthington Gardens?
So honestly, it was. So it was right before the pandemic hit.
Oh, okay.
I only remember this is because I had to go take care of it. Or I guess it was maybe it was the year before, but I was getting my teeth cleaned, and normally my clinic starts at 9 a.m. I'm usually seeing patients earlier because I like to give patients plenty of time because I always tell the patient, whoever the person in front of me is the most important person at that time, so I want to give them their enough time. So I usually kind of start them early. Well, that day I had not booked I had booked a teeth cleaning, and so it was kind of see a dentist down the way, Dr. Wright. He's great, and I never go this way. I never go this way, but I had to go through Dow Worthington Gardens, and they pulled me over, and I was just,
Yep.
and you always cringe every time
Yep.
that you get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That also implies that I've gotten more than one.
Same. Look,
I've
same.
got multiple. Yeah, it was like
And it was like 1 or 2 miles over. I was like, come on, guys,
Right.
come on. Well, whatever. I was speeding,
Yep,
so
right.
that's fine. I will take
That's
it.
that's how Jim Ross answered that question too. He was like, "Yep, he got me. I was speeding. Like I should have gotten the ticket, and I did."
I knew it. I was guilty.
What is your favorite memory of Arlington?
Honestly, I wouldn't say that if I had to go back and say what is my favorite memory prior, it's really more of the memories that I'm making in Arlington.
Sure.
Love that.
So, I mean, what I love the most is that my kids are growing up in the city that I love. And so it is taking my kid to baseball practice, having them enjoy St. Patty's Day after we've kind of gone through these past 2 really hard years,
right.
to be like, hey, you know what, we can start to do things again and enjoy things as a family during this past time. So I if I had to pick one memory from Arlington from my past, there's too many of them.
Yeah.
But what I love more is the memories that I'm making now.
Right.
Right? I mean, we have so much to offer in Arlington, and those are more of the memories that I look forward to.
Right.
Right? Because it's when my kids get to do cotillion, or if they get to ever do the Cinderella ball, and all these things that are kind of coming down the pipeline that is pretty unique to Arlington. I'm so pumped to see the city my kids are going to be able to grow up in.
I mean, we both grew up here
Yep.
as well, and my kids are also growing up here, and it's like almost night and day between what it was when I lived here and what it is now. Like when I lived here, I couldn't go see like an underground punk show on Division Street.
Right.
Like, it would have been terrifying to do that, and there would have been nowhere to do it at. Like, it would have been literally a car lot. But now, we got Division, we got Growl Records, on Abrams, you got Dr. Jekyll's and Pentigo, you've got all this stuff that even wasn't around back then that's around now, and it's just like you said, it's really great to see people have that opportunity to do that.
The one thing I'm looking forward to. I mean, I remember, whenever I was a kid, I pretty much lived at Six Flags.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think if you were anything of a '90s child,
yeah. You had the season pass.
You did.
Your parents dropped you off, and you were there all day.
Mom would give me like $5 and it's like, don't spend it all in one place. I'm like, if I go one place, I'm gonna spend it all.
I've already spent it.
But I rode the log. There was like one day, it was a buddy of mine, because when you're 12. 13, you do crazy things.
Yeah.
We're like, how many times can we ride the log ride? I think it was like 60 something.
Wow.
And look, the log ride is not that much fun.
No, it's really not. It's not.
You
It's
would think
one of the
after
worst
maybe 25 or 30, you're like, you know what? Let's go.
No, we literally did. We gates opened, ran to the log ride, got on it. It was a not busy day, so the guys just like let us go through.
Right.
And after a little bit, they're just like, you know what? Let's just see how many times we can go through.
All right, well, that's actually a good segue to we have a lightning round real quick. Just one or the other. Six Flags or Hurricane Harbor?
Oh, Six Flags.
Agreed. Texas Rangers or the Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, Cowboys. Love the Rangers. I know it. I know that might be blasphemy, but I'm a Cowboys fan all the way.
Worst, well, they're both here now, so it's fine,
that's
right?
true, that's true.
It's okay. Worst highway, 20 or 30?
30.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But that'll get better. That'll get better.
In
That's getting
20
better.
years, whatever they're
They
done.
say that. They've been saying that about 35 or that.
I feel like I've been saying that about 30 since I started to drive, when I was 16, which was a long time ago now.
It's been under construction since I've got my license.
I mean, it's
so, yeah.
parts of it, right? Like,
Right.
it was this part that was under construction, and now it's this part, and now it's 360, and so it's fine. It will eventually be okay.
You're right.
Right, for us to be like, all right, well, now we need to widen it again. Concrete striles.
Right.
Think about 10 years from now. How does the city look to you?
So it is going to look. So as we kind of talked a little bit earlier, we're saying what Arlington was when we grew up to what it is now. We're going to continue to build on that. The best part about it is looking how diverse our city is one of the unique parts about it. It's the diversity that we have in our city that brings us strength.
Yeah.
There's doing a lot of great things kind of down in that international corridor that's kind of going on there that brings a unique perspective. All the things that are going down the 360 south kind of corridor, great stuff that's going down that route. The businesses that we're bringing in, we're starting to attract a lot more of those entrepreneurs and professionals that we really need, and keeping them here. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, 10 years from now, it literally is at our disposal, and it is up to us to decide the destiny that we have for Arlington. Right. So it really is just something that is almost limitless to this point.
Sure.
So, do you have a favorite Arlingtonite? Past, present?
I wouldn't say that I had a favorite Arlingtonite. I mean, there's no, I wouldn't want to just pick one just over the other. I mean, we have tons of great, memories throughout Arlington, and people that have come through that have made huge strides. Dr. Odom Wesley's done great things before in the past. I mean, look, our mayor's currently making tons of names for himself now. I wouldn't say that I would just harp on one and say this is the only person that has done such a unique perspective that I would pick out of the whole lineup.
There you go. Now we have another lightning round. It's your favorites in Arlington. Favorite taco place.
Breakfast taco?
You can do that, yeah. That's actually good. I don't think we've had anyone answer that.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Sure. I 100% agree. There is a huge difference.
So Los Jarros off of Randall Mill in North Arlington.
Yeah.
So they also have a really good menu, though. My wife likes the breakfast tacos. I get the menu, though. So I'd probably have to go with them.
Okay.
Favorite pizza place.
So many good ones there too. Arlington's a good food city.
It really is. It really is. I have to go with. I was going to go with Moni's, but Needs a Pizza.
Okay.
Off
Yeah.
Lamar.
Moni's
plays
is,
out.
Oh, yeah.
Moni's is really good too.
Moni's is
Or Mama's Pizza too.
Mama's Pizza is really good,
legit.
too.
No. I have to stick with Needs a Pizza because that is my go-to right now.
All right.
Yeah, it's very good. Favorite coffee place?
Probably. What's it called?
Inclusion.
Inclusion. Thank you.
Yes, Inclusion's fantastic.
Fun
Inclusion.
place.
Favorite barber or hairdresser?
Oh,
I'll say barber for you.
so it's Prince's hair design. It's off Cooper. Habib is awesome. I've been going to him for 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
4 years, literally since we decided to come up from San Antonio to up here, come back to Arlington. He's great. He's like literally across from Arlington High.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he just small little barbershop, little shopping center. You probably pass by it and never seen
Yeah.
it, but he's top notch.
Favorite spot in Urban Union?
It's a lot of good ones there too.
Can I pick the Tiki Bar?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Tiki Bar.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
I think that's probably my favorite place to. Although I really like Hurtado as well.
Yeah.
So
The
Tiki Bar is just a
Ooh.
cool place to hang out.
Yes. Especially I'd like it during the daytime.
But I haven't been to
because it's
Haters
so
yet
dark.
either. So I
Haters
don't
is
know.
great.
Haters is fantastic.
Okay,
They
now
have really good drinks. And a pool table in the
And
back.
they have tacos too.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nighttime Tiki Bar.
Okay.
Daytime Haters and Hurtado.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
And
That's fair.
Tipsy Oak.
Yeah, I was about to say and the Tipsio because
See, look!
Yeah, their
You
menu is
can't
fantastic.
you can't do that. There's too many things. I'm like, oh, this place too.
But that's obviously a good thing that Arlington has these many. You're like,
That's right.
oh, no,
That's
this
right.
place,
That's
this
right.
place, this place.
especially like an all-in-one place. Like some of the coolest places in Arlington are all right there, and you
That's
can
right.
do them all in one day. It's so great. So if people want to follow you, support, donate, social media or your website, how do they find you?
Okay, so it's Albert Parra for Arlington on Facebook. So I try to be pretty cognizant about keeping content pretty fresh on there, so people get an understanding of just who I am.
Yeah.
So that's on Facebook and Instagram. Twitter, I need to make sure that I keep updating that one as much. It doesn't. I haven't done that one. I think I'm probably like 2 or 3 posts behind on Twitter, but I need to be a little bit better. Then albertparra.com is the website. I mean, at the end of the day, the things I want people to understand is what I'm looking forward to making to how we move Arlington forward is making sure that we keep our city safe, so that police and fire have the resources they need to continue doing that. They've done a great job. We're one of the most visited cities, so the numbers sometimes look a little skewed whenever you take a look at that, just because we just have more people that are visiting us from out. Other things that I want to make sure that people understand is things that are going to be important is looking at zoning and development. We're a landlocked city, so we have to make sure that we're very precise in how we're going to put either homes and or businesses in the land that we have left, and then looking at essentially the revitalization. What are we going to do? Because since we are a landlocked city, how are we going to revitalize and or make room for those new businesses that might be in some place that needs to be relooked at? And then making sure that we're making fiscally conscious and decisions so that we're stretching every penny of our tax dollars. Those are a couple of things that I'm really looking forward to. Then lastly is obviously economic development. I think that this is probably one of the most important, because we have to make sure that we're just going to be very novel in how we're going to recruit businesses, recruit those young professionals and any type of professional to our city, and then keep them in our city. We don't want them just to be here and then living in Fort Worth or someplace else. We want them to come here and see why Arlington is such a great place. And so we just have to make sure that we're optimizing the businesses we have, and then doing our best to recruit the businesses that we want.
Agreed.
Yeah, couldn't say it better myself. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Perfect. Thank you guys seriously for having me.
No problem. We're here with David Wilbanks. He is running for place 4 for the Aisd School Board. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Doing well.
good. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming to the downtown library.
I love this place.
Me too.
So this is a great addition to downtown and a treasure for our community here in Arlington.
It really is.
And there's so much, in the back of us, we got the Arts District, we've got Levitt Pavilion over here, inclusion, like so much stuff is going on around this area that this is almost like the
Hurtado's Barbecue.
Of course, yes, I'm wearing the shirt. Yeah,
shirt
Hurtado
right
Barbecue, which is top 50 in Texas.
Which Brandon's been on 3 or 4 times.
He has.
He's coming up on the 5-timer.
Yeah, we need to talk to him again about haters.
We do. We keep talking about it, and we run into city elections and stuff.
He's
like
also
that.
a busy guy. He's opening another
He is
location.
true. That's true.
So.
Little He's opening another one at the Little Elm.
Yeah, and also you can get them at Globe Life Field.
Yeah,
At the
I had that
Lebanese.
idea the other
Yeah.
day. I was talking to my wife. I said we should really, because we were talking about Prince Lebanese, and I was like, we should really
also
have
a big fan.
Right,
Yes.
of Prince.
And Eloise. Eloise is fantastic if you guys haven't been. It's catty corner from AT&T Stadium.
across from Panda Express.
Yeah.
Oh yes. On Collins.
Yes.
Yes.
Collins
that
and
is
Randall
a great
Mill.
place. They do a great. They give back to the community in a great
do.
way.
Yeah.
So
we had them on
kudos
the
to
show.
them.
But I said they need to have them, like Arlington pop-ups there, and literally 2 days later, I came out and I was like, "Oh, thank goodness!" So
Somebody
cool.
else is working on it.
So cool.
Well, I guess to the matter at hand, why are you running for Aisd Board of Trustees?
Because it pays so well.
There you go.
I don't think that's true.
No, it really goes back to when my wife and I moved back from Argentina.
Oh, wow.
We chose to move to Arlington because of the quality of education my daughter received in elementary school. We wanted that same education for my son. And we ran into some challenges, and things were a little bit different. And we were tired of his colleagues, his classmates coming to him saying, "Hey, this is my last week. We're moving to Mansfield, or we're moving to this place." And we could have easily done the same thing, but my wife and I said, "No, we're all in for Arlington. We're going to roll up our sleeves and make it a better place." And we were involved both on city stuff but our passion and my passion has always been the school system.
Sure.
And I'd seen in my travels, and also when my daughter was on the swim team, what other districts offered their kids in terms of opportunity and career tech. And we wanted the best for my kid and what all kids in Arlington deserved. And so I was voluntold. I had sold my software company in the 40s and, in my young 40s, and was kind of semi-retired slacker.
Sure.
And Bowie Hogg and Jamie Sullins, two trustees at the time, we had a kind of a crisis in education. In 2011, the legislature threatened to cut the budget for public ed by some $12 billion.
Yes, I remember it was a big deal.
It was a big deal, and the principal of my son's elementary school was panicked, and so she asked me to have an assembly at night. We called all the parents in. The school we were at had a great great parent engagement, but we needed to step it up because we were going to lose TAs in the classroom, other classroom assistants, cafeteria workers, cuts across the board, and so we were calling on the families to rise up and kind of fill in the gaps so that we can continue the great education that our school was known for. And that caught the eye of those two trustees, Bowie Hogg, and they cornered me outside the meeting afterwards, and they're like, "Hey, you'd make a great school board trustee. The filing deadline's tomorrow. Why don't you file?" And I'm like, "I'm a slacker. I'm like retired at 40.
I don't want to do this.
But they didn't take no for an answer. They put me on committee after committee, and I took my expertise from Silicon Valley and in the private equity world and my finance background. Both Justin and I joined the Financial Futures Committee, which sets the long-term budgetary agenda for the district. It's a citizen-led committee, and I chaired the committee the last 4 years before I was appointed. Well, not appointed, but I ran to be on the school board in 2019. They canceled the election.
That's what he said.
Yeah. But so I've got a long history working behind the scenes, making this district a better place. Great example is the 2014 bond package. Before that, Mayor Jeff Williams, before he was Mayor Jeff Williams, chaired the Capital Needs Steering Committee, and there were a number of business and community leaders who recognized the fact that Arlington as a district was here, our surrounding districts were here, and it was making it hard to attract the families. We wanted to attract the teachers we needed to teach, and we needed to do something bold. And we picked the right person, and Mayor Jeff Williams, to chair that. I worked alongside him and chaired a couple of subcommittees, and that bond package really transformed the district for the better, and that's one of the things I'm most proud of. Before I was on the board, but now that I'm on the board, I was appointed in 2019. They canceled the election, as I mentioned, and I thought, all right, I'm landslide Dave, because I got all the votes of 0.
Yeah.
And my wife said, no, you're default Dave. You're not landslide Dave. So the reason why I'm running is solely because I want to get rid of that moniker for my wife. And no longer be known as Default Dave. I want to be known as Landslide Dave.
There you go.
we go.
So that's the only reason why I'm running. No.
Now, do you have the shirts already printed up?
Landslide Dave. Yeah. I don't want to jinx myself.
Okay, good point.
I don't want to jinx myself. But no, seriously, we have a lot of unfinished business to do.
Sure.
And these last 3 years that I've been on the board have been
Tough.
Very tough. It's been a seismic disruption in our public education system. Students have suffered tremendously in the learning loss, but also the emotional loss has been big, which is creating challenges of its own. But the parents, it's affected us all, the parents and the teachers. And it's going to take the community, just like in 2011, when I was called upon to rally the troops to lift up our school and help get it back on track despite these massive cuts that were threatened to be coming down. We need to do the same and then some this time, because we've got a lot of factors that are kind of triangulating to make things even tougher for us. And, you know, teachers were overworked and overburdened before the pandemic. They're more overworked now. In fact, this last year has been tougher than the 2 years in the pandemic, because there's a lot of pressure to get these kids back. I mean, there's like 10 years of gains, educational gains, that were wiped out by the pandemic.
Yeah. Right.
And it's not going to happen overnight, but we got to get these kids back on track so this short-term loss doesn't turn into a generational loss,
Right.
like it did in Argentina, where I was taking my sabbatical before I moved back here. So I know well that there's a generation of kids there that are still suffering today and lower pay years later from when they had their massive disruption to the education system. So we need to prevent the same thing here, and that means we need all the parents to get involved. And right now we're also getting threats from parents who think, oh, we're doing CRT, we've got pornography in the library. My job as a trustee is to represent the values of our community. And I tell parents, look, we need your help. We need to come together. And if you're concerned about these things that are being taught, maybe being taught, or might be in the library, come, volunteer in our libraries. We need you. Come and look around, and if you see anything that doesn't meet the values of our community, let me know, and I'll talk to our superintendent, and we'll take care of it. But I can tell you that, you know, it's all noise. We've never taught things like CRT. We never will. There's a law against it. You know, teachers, everything they teach is highly prescribed. The Texas Essential Knowledge, the you know, every class, they have millions and millions of things that are lined out for them on what they're supposed to teach, and it's a mile wide and an inch deep. They don't have time to get through it all in 1 year, much less go off script and teach things they should be teaching. So,
all right. So what does Arlington, the American Dream City, mean to you?
Well, as an entrepreneur, when I came back from Silicon Valley, I started my own software company here, and my partners, my co-founders, were located here. Their kids all went through the district, and I successfully sold that, 5 years later, and realized my dreams as an entrepreneur, and started another marketing company, and now I'm in private equity in Fort Worth. So Arlington really has been a blessing for me. And that's part of the reason why when we moved back to the country, we chose Arlington. For our kids, I can say proudly now that whatever a kid's dream in Aisd, they have the possibility to realize that dream and turn it into reality. The things we're doing at our Career Tech Center, where kids can get certified in 39 different industry certifications and graduate with that certification, and those certifications are worth real bucks, man. They some kids are graduating and getting offers at 75, 80,
That's awesome.
90,000 out of high school. I didn't get that when I graduated from UT.
It's hard for me to get that now.
Right. And we're doing amazing things, and kids are doing amazing things. I'm just amazed at, when I talk to other parents and their kids are going off to New York working on Wall Street, or another friend's daughter was working on Saturday Night Live, and kids are going off and realizing their dreams in the acting industry, and there are a lot of great stories out there, and it's not all from privileged families. We got kids of all walks of life that are realizing their dreams and transforming their lives for the better because of what's offered here in Aisd.
Yeah, I grew up here and I went to school here. I went to college here. I went to all Aisd schools here, and I enjoyed my time here. I thought it was really great. I had a really good time. I have my daughter is a freshman at Martin, and she's mapping out what she'd like to do for the rest of her high school time here. And she brought the book home to show what you could do, and she's talking about all these things at the Dan Dippert Center and the Ag Center. There's all these different things that they can do, and I'm looking through this book going, man, this is cool. I was like, they got this, they got this, they got this. I was like, this happens, you can do this, you get a certificate here or something here, and I was like, this is really great. It's a really I'm happy for her that she gets to experience that and have those kind of opportunities, and I'm glad that it's here in our city. It's wonderful.
Yeah, the great story I tell is, I have a friend whose daughter wanted to go into nursing, and so she was like, yeah. So she signed up for the HOSA classes and the lower grades, and then went to the Career Tech Center and took her first phlebotomy class and fainted every time she had to give blood, and said, I'm out. I'm not going to be a nurse. What would have happened with me and my daughter is my daughter would have had that passion and then gone off to UTA or worse, some more expensive college, and gone 2 years in and realized,
oh man,
I'm out. I'm not going to do nursing, and there would have been 2 years of college wasted. So that's the great thing is kids can not only turn their dreams into reality, but they can turn their dreams into the reality that that's not going to work for me, and experiment and figure out where their passion is. Yeah. That's the great thing is they can find their passion, and it doesn't cost mom and dad an arm and a leg.
Yes. Sure. It's here in the city already.
Yeah.
What's your favorite building in Arlington?
My favorite building in Arlington? Oh, that's a tough one. Well, this is a pretty awesome building.
It is.
This building is pretty awesome.
It is one of my favorites.
Here's a secret. Don't tell staff, but I took my campaign photos up on the balcony.
Oh, there you go.
Which were, I don't think, technically allowed, but
no, it's fine.
They turned out great. This is a beautiful building.
It is.
And this is a treasure for Arlington, but I'm a little biased, but I was going to say the Dan Dippert. We keep talking about the Dan Dippert Center. That's a very bold design.
I agree
as well. And I know I'm leaving something obvious off the map, but I love the revitalization that we're seeing in Arlington becoming cool again.
Yeah,
I got a lot of slack from friends.
You live in Arlington?
You live in Arlington?
Yeah. What's there to do
there?
there?
Fort Worth and Dallas, and even my wife for a long time, she was like, "Why are we living in Arlington? Why are we living in Fort Worth?" Where I'm like, but now she's like, "Oh, we made a good bet.
Yeah,
we made a good bet."
I agree. That's why I bought my house here. I mean, I lived here, but then I moved away for a little bit to the HEB area. Then I came back 5 years ago, and I said, I want to be back here because this is popping. And that was 5 years ago, or 6 years ago now. And now it's popping. So, all right. When was the last time you got a speeding ticket in Pentigo or Dow Worthington Gardens?
Did Justin feed you that question?
No, that's a question.
We ask everybody.
You can listen to our episode last year. We asked this question last year. We've asked all of them this year, too.
All right. Well, we had a late night school board meeting one night recently, and it was at our professional development center that's on Arbrook, and I live off Bowen over by Shady Valley, and so I was coming up Bowen, and as often happens in those school board meetings, we sit in the parking lot and we replay things that happen, and before you know it, an hour or two's gone by, and we're just sitting in the parking lot, and it was freezing cold that night. So I was freezing. I didn't have a coat, and it was after midnight, and I'm like hightailing it home because I had work in the morning. I don't know how fast I was going, but I was going pretty fast on Bowen. And I still had I stepped out of the car when I got pulled over, and I still had my Aisd badge. And he was like, "Where are you coming from?" I'm like, "Oh, our school board meeting went late." And he's like, "Oh, so you're on the school board?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I was freezing cold. I got to work in the morning, and I lost track of how fast I was going." He's like, "Well, don't let it happen again. Have a good day."
Wow.
Good night.
All right.
So I'm not going to tell you how fast I was going, but it was probably faster than the average person who gets off of a ticket. So does that count as last time?
Yeah,
that was
counts.
close.
That's a
I
good
didn't
story.
get a ticket.
It's close. It's
I
very
didn't.
close.
He didn't even write me up.
Yeah.
So I guess that was a little. I don't know that I've ever got one in Del Worthington.
Close call though.
Right.
That was a close call.
I mean, I got out of a ticket just because I was by Dimebag's house. It was just after his murder, unfortunately, and so they were like, I was like, "Oh, I was taking my friends by Dimebag's. They've never been." We're like, "Okay, well, your license plate light was out too," and I was like, "I didn't know I had a license plate light. Thank you for letting me know."
Thank you for that information. Yes.
So I'll get that taken care of. I'm like, "All right, well, you have a good night." I was like, "All right, thanks. Appreciate it." But yeah, most people do not get out of tickets when it comes to
I have
Del Worthington Gardens. So.
And I didn't purposely pull the.
Sure.
He asked me where I was coming from. I had to tell him the truth. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're under oath. I think that's how that works.
Yeah.
No, you're not. But.
No, but
All right, we're gonna have. No, we're not there yet. Sorry.
That's my question.
That is your question. What is your favorite memory of Arlington?
my favorite memory of Arlington.
It's hard when there's so many.
Well, this is going to be school board related, but dude, guys, this ranks up there, like up to that moment when your first kid's born.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
So one of the perks of being on the school board is my son made a speed run through during the pandemic through the STEM Academy at Martin High School.
Oh, wow.
And graduated in 3 years.
Wow.
Jeez.
And so I was so proud of him, and I actually got to give him his diploma on stage.
Oh, that's
That is
cool.
awesome.
So that was, and it was because of the pandemic, it was at AT&T Stadium,
Right.
which is cool enough in
Sure.
itself.
Sure. Yeah.
And so there I was on stage, and then it was recorded, and it was.
That's cool.
I shed a few tears.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
I
won't lie.
would've too.
I
would've
shed
too.
a few tears.
That's good.
Absolutely.
So-
All right. If you had, this is our first lightning round. You got to choose one or the other. Six Flags or Hurricane Harbor.
Six Flags.
That's the right answer.
Yeah.
Rangers or Cowboys. This one is not. There's not
It's a
necessarily a
tough
right
one, yeah.
answer. It's a
There's
tough one. It is. It is.
You know, I've always been partial to the Rangers.
That's me too.
Yeah.
I've always,
I love the Cowboys, but
and
I'm
I
a
worked my
Rangers fan.
tail off for that new stadium, by the way. So
Good.
I'm going to say Rangers.
All right.
There we go.
Worst highway, 20 or 30.
20.
Okay. Well, all right. They're both bad.
They're both, neither one of them are good. Think about 10 years from now. How does the city look to you?
We'll have Abram will be a sea of cool, hip restaurants.
And it's on its
There we
way.
go. It is.
and live music venues out the wazoo.
Good.
Yes.
And God rest its soul, a replacement for Legal Draft.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
And a couple of other brew pubs. Division's cool, but that's
Yeah.
kind of a side project.
It's small too.
It's small.
It's not as big as
But-
Right.
Legal was.
More brew pubs, more cool restaurants, more upper end restaurants, some for everybody.
Exactly.
And a lot more live music.
Yes.
So
I mean, all of those things are already happening, so I think it would be a safe bet for
Right.
I
next
know I
acceleration
know
on
I'm
the-
playing it safe, but
I think more in South
I
Arlington.
want to
would
see
be
it. I moved here for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, more in South Arlington for me because
That's
For
true,
people
that's
us
true.
live in South Arlington, but
we'll get down there too.
for sure.
Do you have a favorite Arlingtonite?
favorite Arlington. there's so many to choose from.
There really are.
Across the spectrum, depending on, sports, politicians, average dudes.
And there's so many of all of those in the city.
So, I mean, Tilly Burgeon from Mission Arlington is a saint.
She's a saint, yeah.
I attribute a lot of our current success to our former mayor, Jeff Williams.
Yeah.
Jeff and Karen are treasures. And then there's people like Mary Hibbs, who has run Camp Thurman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that's tough.
It
I have
is
to pick
tough.
one of those.
Not really.
Yeah.
You can
Okay.
talk about
Yeah,
all of
you
them.
do
That's
that.
fine.
Yeah.
All right, we'll put Jeff Williams, maybe just edge him out above the others.
Okay,
That's fine. Yeah, that's not
I
a
mean,
problem.
like you said, a lot of what we're seeing now, there was fingerprints of Jeff Williams all over it. So,
Yeah.
very cool.
All right, our final lightning round. These are favorites in Arlington. Favorite taco place?
Oh, I got a new favorite.
Okay.
And do I have to say it on air? Because
Oh,
It's
it's
really
fine if you
small.
butcher it.
well, I don't want to get the word out.
Oh, gotcha.
So you
Okay.
want to
So this
keep it
is
to
a
yourself.
secret.
Okay.
We're not going to tell anyone.
No one listens anymore.
No one listens to this podcast, so I'm safe.
no.
I'm telling you. Okay. All right. So, who was the politician a few years back at the Republican candidate forums that said we can't do that because then we'll have taco trucks on every corner?
I know what you're talking about. I remember that reference, but I don't.
Was it Chris Christie that said that?
I don't know, or was it Rubio?
Or Rubio.
It might have been
I think it
Rubio.
was. I think it was Rubio. But anyway, one of them. So, and we all joke about, wouldn't that be nice if we had a taco truck
Yeah,
on
I
every
would
corner?
love that.
Well, around the corner from me, there's a taco truck on Saturday and Sunday night, and oh my God, it's the. So I've been on a quest. When you're in Mexico City and you get tacos al pastor, it is like the best thing.
Sure.
And that's a marriage of different cultures, Lebanese and Mexican, and it all combines into this culinary masterpiece, tacos al pastor. And to make it authentic, you have to have, where it came about is some Lebanese imports. They were trying to sell gyro meat, lamb, and on the little trompo.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
And no one was buying it in Veracruz. They wanted their pork tacos.
Of course.
So they improvised and they put pork marinated in chili spices and then put a pineapple on top of the trompo and turned it and came up with one of the best things man's ever
Agreed.
invented.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, there is a place on Division, right before you get to Forest Edge, in between Hare's Nursery and Forest Edge. And these guys are in a little red shack. And they're only there Friday and Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday. I don't remember. They're only there 2 nights a week on the weekends. And they serve the best tacos al pastor that you can get in this city. And we
Okay.
just had it again last night. We had some friends come up. And it's cash only, Spanish only,
Right.
and they, we all pulled up. We got our food to go, and we took it back to my house, and we sat on the patio with a few beers and had the best tacos any of us had had in a long time.
That's
So-
not far from my house.
No,
so
it's not.
I'm
So
gonna
it's
have to go.
J&G Taqueria, and it's a little red shack. You'll miss it if you're flying down Division towards Green Oaks, and it's on the south side of the road, and it's like literally in this little carve out of the road, and there are at least 6 cars there. There's no room for anyone else to
Right,
park. It's a little, I mean, it's on Division. It's a little like carve out of the side of the road. There's not room for a lot of cars, and it was packed.
Okay.
But really, really, really good tacos.
Cool. I know what I'm doing next Saturday. Favorite pizza place?
Oh, favorite pizza place.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of good ones.
I
A lot
know,
of different
but
styles, too.
I don't want to do. See, I'm really fond of authentic.
Like the wood-fired.
Yeah, from Naples.
Oh, yeah.
Like-
and I don't know that. Well, there's Cane Rosso.
They make a really good one.
And Corky's.
Yeah. Corky's.
Where's Corky's?
Oh, South Arlington.
It's a
just
little
south
road.
of 28070 on Little Road.
Is it good?
It is
Oh,
very
yeah,
good.
it's very
yes.
And it's non-chain.
No.
Yeah, so it's owned by people here. They like took their staff to Disney World like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I need to go there because
Yeah,
I'd
do.
like a non-chain version. Of
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really authentic. you know, and in a pinch, I'll do either. Well, I got a shout out to Moni's.
Oh,
Yes,
of course.
of course.
And you know, that's our go-to. When we lived up north, that was our go-to neighborhood restaurant.
It's good atmosphere.
And then of course there's the pizza at Prespa's, but I'm trying to stay away from chains. Get the mom and pops.
Yeah.
Good. There's a lot of good.
There are.
That's the thing. We need to promote our mom and
Yeah,
pops.
absolutely.
Here in
We try to do that all the
Arlington.
time. Favorite coffee place?
Favorite coffee place. The Original Pete's in Berkeley, California. No, coffee. You know, we were having this debate, and there's the great thing is that we've got a plethora of
We do now.
great new coffee places here, and so you don't have to go to the Starbucks.
No.
Anymore.
Literally, like within like a mile radius, there's like 6
Mm-hmm.
like from where we are right now. We can see one right now.
Right,
Inclusion right over
I,
there.
you know, and I have to say, I haven't been real happy. Well, let's not disparage anyone. I'd say Inclusion, their coffee beats out some of the other recent entries.
Okay.
Cool.
There we go.
In terms of taste.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
You know, but I like the atmosphere of White Rhino. I will say that.
Yeah, their atmosphere is really. Their breakfast tacos are not bad either.
Yeah. True.
Yes.
But we do need a coffee place that serves better breakfast tacos.
Yes, you are not wrong. Favorite barber?
Favorite barber, not my wife during the pandemic.
No, okay. Not
Good thing I didn't really have to go out of the house while that was going on. You know, I like the guys down the street here
the Legends people.
at Legends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. And then favorite spot in Urban Union?
Well, it used to be
The one that's
Legal
still
Draft,
on
yeah.
there,
Legal Draft by far. You know, occasionally we'll go to, well, and then there's Connie Rosso. But I would go a little bit further down. My buddies and I, we do our Sunday fellowship night at Tipsy Oak.
Okay.
Tipsy was
Yeah.
great. They always have
Fun place.
Yeah, fun.
Now
good
that the
food.
weather's gotten great
Sure,
on the
patio
patio,
weather.
yeah.
Only place in Arlington that I know of you can get poutine as well. So
Favorite of my vegetarian daughters.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, I look forward to the story of Legal Draft coming out, which maybe hopefully we can tell.
maybe
it one
we'll
day,
be a part
but there's definitely a lot going on with that.
oh, okay. I'll have to listen.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the people of Arlington? You know, any issues, anything you want to bring up?
Well, elections matter, and unlike last time, where Justin and I ran unopposed, and they actually canceled the election, we've got some challengers. I say, do your homework.
Sure.
Do you want candidates that are cutouts for other people with individual grievances with the district who are unqualified, or do you, right now with the work we have ahead of us with getting these kids back on track, do you want proven experience with people who have the knowledge to turn things around?
Yeah.
So do your homework, people.
Here we go.
I would agree with that. I think, and I've said it before, you have an outsized vote in local elections like this because we don't have a very high participation rate. So better last time, I think, than the time before that. So trending in the right direction.
Right.
But, like you said, do your homework, and it's important.
Yeah.
It's important. These races matter. This stuff
people
happens.
need to vote, but go in educated.
Agreed. Absolutely. Like, this is the stuff that school board, city council, this stuff has a direct impact on your life and your kids' lives. So
And our property values and
absolutely.
a whole lot more. So
it's important.
Yeah, that's why I love this part, because I'm not a big political person, but I like talking to the people on this level because, again, this matters. So, I mean, a lot of people don't think that, but it does because, like you said, property value, what happening in your kids' lives, even up to city council people, even the mayor.
What's happening to your streets?
Yeah. What's coming into your city. Like, it all matters. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for the opportunity. This has been a lot of fun. So
Good. That's what we
I got a
thought.
lot to do to catch up to Raul.
You do.
So I'd love to come back
Yeah,
anytime.
we would love
absolutely.
that,
We'll
yeah.
have you for sure.
Now, if people want to follow you, support you, donate, find you on social media, website, where can they do so?
At Wilbanks 4 AISD, and 4 spelled out FORAISD.com.
There we go.
And they can email me at david@wilbanks4aisd.com. And I've got a phone number they can call that's all printed on my materials. I don't mind giving it out.
Okay.
817-458-8514.
There we go.
Cool. Well, good luck in your election. On the election is May 7th. When is early voting? I should have had this information.
Early voting starts April 25th through May 3rd. So early vote. It's convenient.
Super easy.
Super easy, and you can vote. I know they've clamped down on a lot of election things, but in Tarrant County, to the best of my knowledge, you can go to any early voting location and vote. You don't have to go to your precinct.
Yeah.
Makes it very easy.
Very,
Junior
very
League,
easy.
Sub-courthouse, LZO, Odom.
The water place in South Arlington.
Yeah, South Service Center, Bob Duncan.
The MAC.
Yeah.
The MAC is a
So
place.
the MACs are part, but usually a limited time of early.
Gotcha.
I haven't checked the schedule this year, but sometimes they're only open for 3 or 4 days, as opposed to the whole week and a half of early voting.
Gotcha. Like the other places, like LZO Odom where I go.
There you go.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and we look forward to talking to you again.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. We are here with Anita Scott. She is running for Place 4 in AISD Trustee. How are you today, ma'am?
I am awesome today. How are you?
Doing great.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, thank you all for the invite.
So why are you running for AISD Trustee?
I need a job. No, I'm just kidding. I'm running. Let me give a little context to that. So, been in education for a while now. I really did stop counting a few years ago. So I'm not one of those educators that says, been in it for 27 years. That's not me. I really did stop counting. But when I started in the classroom, taught middle school and high school reading and writing for a few years, and found myself to be very successful. And not because I called myself successful, but because I started getting requests to be a part of panels that just talked about, hey, how to create a culture in your classroom, how to create successful data in your classroom. So then I thought, well, if I'm receiving these invites, why don't I become like a team lead? And in that way, I'm not just impacting my classroom, but I can impact the entire hallway and try to duplicate what's been successful and productive in my own classroom, and let's spread it out. Well, then that worked. And so then I thought, well, let me become an administrator. And so I'm in my 4th year of being a vice principal.
Wow.
At a middle school. Middle schools are my favorite. And so because the goal was if it worked in the classroom and it worked in the hallway and now it's working at a school, well, why don't we just go ahead and impact the entire community?
Sure. Right.
And impact all of Arlington, and let's take the success that has happened on this small level and enlarge it and increase it.
I love that.
Yeah, and I want Arlington to be an ideal premier place for families to come, not just for aesthetics, but for schools. And so that's why I'm running.
Which is an important part of the community. Rhodey and I both went to school here our entire lives.
Okay,
I graduated high school, college, all here in the city of Arlington.
Yeah.
My kids go to school here, and it's an important part of a community that I don't think people overlook it. Don't get me wrong. I think people definitely worry about schools and all that, but it's something that isn't as glamorous sometimes to talk about, right? Like but it's important. It's incredibly important. So what does Arlington, the American Dream City, mean to you?
Well, that's a great question. Arlington, the Dream City. Well, I'm going to kind of piggyback off of what I said a few seconds ago. When I think about Arlington, I think the best relationship is between the city council and the school board. Okay. And it's because, let's put the truth out there, when Arlington residents want to go for a fine dining experience, they're probably going to Dallas or Fort Worth. If they want to have something fun and friendly for their family, they may stay here in Arlington. But if we're talking about dressing up, they're going to go to another zip code. And I want to see Arlington residents spend their money here in Arlington. That can only happen, though, if our schools are as impactful as we want them to be. And so when we talk about a dream city, it's not going to come from this one tunnel of AISD. It's going to come from a marriage of AISD and the city council.
Right.
That's fair. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
Working in tandem to
Have
build
to.
each other up.
I have to. Yeah. Cannot work in silos.
Now, what is your favorite building in Arlington?
If you have one. I know
Yeah.
that's a weird question, but
Could it be a restaurant?
absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Man, I've never had that question. What a unique, creative question. Not surprised from you guys. Favorite building in Arlington? I'm gonna sound like I'm cheating though, because the library is one of them.
That's one of my
okay,
favorite, yeah.
okay, because
Absolutely.
it has the balcony or not the balcony, but the
roof,
patio
yeah.
outside. Yeah, that's not every city doesn't have a library like that.
Right.
You know, and so I greatly appreciate that. I thought. Because I didn't know if you guys were here on time. I thought if they don't make it, I'm just going to sit on this patio. Yeah. And maybe they'll just Zoom me or something. Yeah. But I would have to say the George Hawks Library.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of my favorites.
The first time it opened, I was here the day it opened.
Wow.
It was so crowded. I was like, I've never seen so many people in the library. I love
Yeah.
it. But I was walking around the building, and I walked up to that rooftop deck, and I just went,
Yes.
look at this view.
Yeah.
Like the when the wind is blowing, it feels
Yes.
great up there.
Yes.
And is all the stuff they offer in this library just absolutely
It's-
state of the art and amazing.
Yeah. Can't even count it.
No, you
Yeah.
really can't.
A lot of
is,
service
and
programs,
It's really
yeah.
great. A gym in the city of Arlington, for sure. All right. I know that no one likes driving through Pentigo and Worthington Garden. When was the last time you got a speeding ticket in either of those places?
I haven't.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Good,
I
good.
haven't.
I've
And
gotten
I'm
too
in
many
Worthington all the time. I really am. I don't live on that. I live in South Arlington, but I'm always in Worthington, and I haven't got a speeding
Good,
ticket.
Good for
Good.
you.
True.
I gotten too many. No, I haven't gotten any in like 20 years. But when I was younger,
7 or 8.
Yeah.
You gotta learn your lesson.
I did.
Eventually.
It's a costly one.
Yeah, it is.
What is your favorite memory of Arlington?
Okay, 2018, the summer of 2018. It would have to be my housewarming party.
Oh, okay.
When I purchased, it was I bought my first home here in Arlington.
Very nice.
And
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. And it was my housewarming, and it was so great because I'm an extrovert, quite gregarious, love people. Even when I'm tired, when I get around people, it's like
Yeah.
people are vitamins to
Energy
me.
just-
Yeah, my energy just goes through the roof. So I remember when I moved in, I thought, I need to find out when trash pickup is
Yeah.
and recycling. But I didn't go online. I thought, I'm just go door to door and ask people because then I can get to know my neighbors.
Sure, yeah,
And
yeah.
I really did. And so my brother said, that's so silly. You could have went online. I said, no, the whole purpose was to go and meet my neighbors.
Right.
Yeah.
So then maybe 3 weeks later, I was having a housewarming, and I knew a lot of cars would just take up the street. So I again went door to door and told my neighbors, hey, I'm having a gathering. You're welcome to come, but I just want you to know there are going to be a lot of cars on this street. But then they gave me another opportunity to meet all of my neighbors.
Yeah,
right.
So my housewarming was so cool because neighbors came over,
That's
my
awesome.
own family came over,
That's
friends from my childhood. So it was just awesome to already have like this
Yeah.
blend of future friends and past friends. So
is
I would have
great.
to say the summer of 2018.
Kind of had like a mini block party for the most part.
It
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
was. It really was. That's the treasure. Like
Yeah, and
tucked away
such
in my
a-
heart.
I like that.
Such a personal, great memory of Arlington. And I think
Right.
everyone has that memory, their own personal version of that, right?
Yeah.
I can remember plenty of times hanging out at your house that I feel like that, right? good times and good vibes, right?
Absolutely.
All right, we have a lightning round.
Lightning round.
Lightning round, all right. Six Flags or Hurricane Harbor?
Six Flags.
All right. Texas Rangers or the Dallas Cowboys?
Rangers.
Okay. All right. Worst highway, 20 or 30?
Oh, 20.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 20.
Do you spend more time on 20 than 30?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I think that question generally, if you spend more time on 30, you're like 30 is the worst. Right. If you spend more time on 20, you're like 20 is the worst.
4 years ago, maybe 5, I spent more time on 30.
Yeah.
And so then 30 was the worst.
Right,
yeah.
But
exactly,
now I'm
exactly.
on 20, so
Yeah.
20 is the worst.
Yeah, finding any way to get around the 20 and 360s is the
Man,
goal.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Think about 10 years from now. How does the city look to you?
Highways are finished.
Let's hope, right?
Yes. I know that Jim Ross is planning on building out a park similar to Clyde Warren, in this area. I see that 10 years from now.
I agree.
I also see aesthetics being a part of Arlington. Like I was speaking earlier,
right.
where families come here, Dallas residents will come to Arlington
Right,
to
right.
spend their money. Fort Worth residents will come to Arlington. 10 years from now, I see Arlington schools continuing to be distinguished and meeting those master's levels. I see us being an A+ type school. I see us being schools where we're not settling for 70% passing or 60% passing. We leave the 38th percentile of third grade kids reading on third grade reading, or third grade students not reading on third grade levels. But I see us going above and coming out of the statistic of, and I'm speaking not just for Arlington, but America.
Yeah.
But I'm speaking of just students being able to not just pass a test, but master a test.
Right.
And so now I want Arlington to be one of those counties that gets recognized for Arlington has something going on in their schools where these kids are killing benchmarks, national tests, state tests, local tests, campus tests. So, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Do you have a favorite Arlingtonite, favorite person in Arlington?
A favorite person in Arlington? If I didn't say my family, they may not listen.
That's fine. Family is incredibly important. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
In Arlington, I have a lot of friends and family in Arlington, but I'm going to go with my mom.
Okay,
She lives-
absolutely.
Yeah, she lives 5 minutes from me, and I have literally dragged her to every panel and every forum that I've been to. She was there when they said my name was on the ballot. She goes block walking for me.
That's a good mom right there.
Yeah, she turns 75 in August.
That's awesome.
And you would never know it. She looks 50 something, and literally like has something on her iPhone where she tracks how many miles she walks
Right.
a day.
Yeah.
And she's just incredible. And wrote a book last year.
Wow.
It came out like a journal, a gratitude journal, joy journal. And that was after her coming out of COVID, which almost took her life. And literally had spent weeks in the hospital and then spent time in rehab. Bounced back and wrote a book about joy and gratitude.
Man.
And has it on Amazon and is kicking tail. And so, yeah, she is someone. And then my parents homeschooled all 8 kids.
8
Really?
kids?
I'm the 4th of 8.
Wow.
They homeschooled us and
Man.
turned into a small Christian academy. And so she's a hero without the Medal of Honor.
What's the name of her book so people can buy it?
Or want to check it out?
Yeah.
It's called, you can look it up. Ruth Scott is her name on Amazon.
Okay.
And you can just say Ruth Scott Gratitude. And
We'll have to check that out then.
Yeah,
We might have to have her on the show.
Yeah,
I
sounds
know,
like it.
right?
That's what it sounds
Yes,
like.
you would. You need to. She's a repository of wisdom and wealth. Yeah.
That's fantastic. All right. We have a final lightning round.
All right.
Favorite places in Arlington? Favorite taco place?
Oh, Torchy's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I go there. I'm sorry. I
No,
know
you're
it's a lightning round, but I got to talk about it. I love Torchy's so much.
Their queso is great. Their drinks are great.
telling you.
Tacos
You can
obviously
do
fantastic.
breakfast all day.
I didn't realize how good the breakfast tacos were until I
yes.
went to a baby shower recently and they had the tacos. I was like, okay.
What
yeah.
an idea.
Yeah.
Torchy's. Okay, that's good to know.
All right, I'm sorry. I just want
Yeah, no.
everyone to love on Torchy's.
Yeah.
Favorite pizza place?
BJ's.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I eat gluten free. And
Okay.
so
Okay.
BJ's has an amazing gluten free pizza.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had that one.
Yes, amazing.
Apparently so does Connie Rosso. I didn't realize they had gluten
Okay,
free.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Okay, that's note to self.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite coffee place?
Okay, what if I don't drink coffee?
I don't drink
Oh, that's
coffee.
fine.
either.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, all right.
I guess favorite place to get an adult beverage. There we do that.
Favorite place to get an adult beverage? Can I go back to BJ's?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because
yeah.
they craft their own ginger beer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know they had the other beers, but I
Yeah.
know they had ginger beer too.
Yes, and I love ginger beer.
Favorite barber or hairdresser?
She's not in Arlington, though.
Okay.
Okay, give her a
Okay, all
shout
right.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll give her a shout out. There
Yeah.
you go. She actually went to my mom's homeschool.
Okay.
And her name is Kimberly Stinnett. And she's been doing my locks now for about 3 years.
Okay.
And when we were kids, she always talked about being a cosmetologist. Cosmetologist. We were all like, yeah, okay. And,
And
she
she
told,
did it.
and she did it.
Yeah.
And she does hair and makeup for weddings all the time.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Favorite spot in Urban Union?
Do I have to have one?
No,
No,
they're all
yeah, 'cause the
great.
whole thing is
Yeah.
Okay, well, there
I
you
was
go.
literally there last night. They're
Okay,
all
so
great.
Yeah, so
talking
was
about.
I, so.
Okay, all right, cool. No judgment. Okay,
yeah.
all.
I'm just glad that it's there, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say to the citizens of Arlington, or anything else you'd like to touch on?
Extremely honored for all the invites that I received. You guys, when you guys were setting up, we were talking about this campaign trail, and I mean, it is exhilarating and exhausting all at the same time. And I'm an extrovert, and then there are times I'm like, I think I'm peopled out. All right, I'm ready to go home and get a BJ's pizza. You know? But I've been so grateful just for phone calls and emails and just texts. I mean, I knew Arlington was awesome, but the responses have just been overwhelmingly warm and friendly. And I'm literally ready to join the board and make Arlington premier like we say we want to be.
Okay.
Now, if people want to follow you, support you, donate, find you on social media, website, where can they do so?
Facebook, I'm Anita Scott, Aisd. So I have Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. My name on Instagram is Disturber of Fake Peace.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So that's how you can find me. Okay. And then my email address is runfastertogether@yahoo.com.
Man, right there. Yeah. Straight to the source.
All of it.
That's it.
I love when people do that.
I know,
We have a
right?
lot of people that do that in Arlington. I appreciate that.
Yes.
They really put it up on Front Street, and they're like, you can call me, contact me.
Yeah, my number is on my promotional materials because I want to be held accountable for what I say.
Right, as you should.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to run.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming
thank you
out.
so much.
Good luck in the race.
Thank you.
We'll
Probably
talk to you one way or the other.
It
Yeah.
sounds like we will one way or the other.
Exactly.
And we obviously want to talk to your mom at some point.
Exactly. We can all go to BJ's.
There you go.
Awesome. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, John.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much to Dr. Albert Parra, David Wilbanks, and Anita Scott for coming on to the show and telling us what your favorite taco place is. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Learn a lot of good stuff. But there's also a lot of cool stuff going on in Arlington. I actually went out to Urban Union, had a date night with my wife last night. We went to Hairdresser, first time there. Very cool.
What time did y'all go? Because we were only there for 3 minutes and we left, but...
Why were we only there for 3 minutes?
Well, my girlfriend was not feeling the choice of brisket, nachos, tacos, or there was something else. She wanted more food than that.
Oh, well, we had those, and they were delicious. They were very good. The drinks were really good. First time I'd ever been there. We went about 5:30.
Okay,
we went
really
really early.
later.
We were in. Let me just say how old I am. I was in bed by 8:30. So yeah. Anyway, we went there. We went to. We had another drink at Cartel. Had some chips and queso there. It was a lot of queso last night.
Yeah.
And then we went to the Tiki Bar.
Nice.
Fort Cahoon. Very nice.
We went to Tipsy Oak, and then I took her to Caves because she had never been there.
Never been to Caves.
Yeah.
Huh? What'd she think about Caves?
About what she expected.
Yeah, fair.
We played pool and it was great, so she had fun.
Does it still smell like smoke in there? I haven't been in a while.
It does not. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, and the jukebox is a little confusing. You got to sit there for a while. Luckily, they got seats right there because it's all compilations that they have put together. So you got to actually
gotta
read.
study
You got to
it.
do your research. So luckily, they have little stools there, but great music, good people, and of course, that place doesn't start loading up till around 11. And so I don't think we got to bed till around midnight last night.
You don't have children.
We don't.
So
No.
enjoy it. But there's other things to do besides just going to Urban Union. Obviously, Rhodey went to Caves after that. Every first Sunday at 6 p.m., Dr. Jekyll's hosts Arlington Open Mic.
And then go back there on Monday night because every Monday night is trivia night over there. It starts at 7 p.m.
Every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. to midnight, Blitz Lounge has their karaoke night.
And then every second Tuesday over at Create Arlington is their open mic and poetry night.
Every Wednesday at Jambo's Barbecue, you can catch the Meat Sweats and UTA Jazz from 5:30 to 7:30.
And then later that night from 7 to 9 p.m., head on over to Division Brewing where they have trivia night.
And then One Love Lounge hosts their Artist Love Night, which is their open mic night every Thursday starting at 8 p.m.
And again, there's so much to do in the city. Follow us on Find Out what happens on Find Out Friday. That way you can find out all the great musicians, bands, other events that are happening in the city that weekend. We try to post as much as possible. City of Arlington only
But you
posts
can't.
a couple.
You can't post enough. There's too
Instagram
much.
only allows me to put 10 pictures up, and I really only do 2 of those posts, so that's 20 things.
But I mean, just there's so much to do in the city. Enjoy it.
And while you're out there, make sure to go out and eat local, drink local, and
Go rediscover your city.
tag us and send those pictures over to us on Facebook, Arlington Citizen Media, Twitter, ATX Citizen Media. Tag us on Instagram, Arlington Citizen Media, and send those pictures the old-fashioned way. Email arlingtoncitizenmedia@gmail.com. Also go to our website, www.arlingtoncitizenmedia.com. Don't forget to subscribe and give those 5-star reviews of the downtown at Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and also hit us on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.